the idea of these sessions is very much about trying to build a network of colleagues. We plan to host them on a monthly basis. I think, are we also podcasting these and recording them? So we're trying to walk the walk and talk the talk and do the blended learning thing as we're asking you to do. And what we want to make sure of is that this is just a starting point in terms of conversations about blended learning, what it looks like across disciplines, at the unit level, across year levels. And we hope that from here you will go out and continue the conversations. Importantly, what we've given time for towards the end of the program is an opportunity for networking over coffee and tea. And if you have the time to stay, it would be really helpful to me in particular and to the team with whom I'm working, if you could give us your suggestions about ways in which we can do this better. And what I mean by that is, how do we get groups of people like yourselves together? How do we communicate with you? You're incredibly busy people. It's precious time to come here and spend a couple of hours. Is there a better way for us to do it? Online, absolutely. And so what we've done in the packs that we've given you today is to include a range of materials in these plastic sleeves that are already online in response to questions like, what is blended learning? How do I get blended learning started in my unit? How do I start thinking about designing for blended learning? And where are the toolkits that are going to help me to do the job? So the material that Lene and her team have put together is already in existence, but you might need more than that. And we'd really like to use these gatherings as a way to hear from you what's missing, what would be helpful to you and colleagues back in your schools. So really this is a starting point for getting to talk about what I think is a really exciting development for the University of Western Sydney. If I can just step back for 1 second and draw your attention to the newspaper today, and I'm not sure if you've had a chance to read today's newspaper, today's higher education supplement, but in there you've got reference to things like Brace for a Dawn of Digital Delivery. Next to that is the watchdog that's Texas resolves to monitor online courses. So there's a lot of discussion about major developments in the sector, MOOCs, for example. There is also in today's paper a reference to a report that's just out looking at what universities of the future will look like. And that is an article, a report rather, by Ernst & Young. And you may be interested in downloading it. Certainly we can have links on it from our blended learning site. And in there it talks about the very things that we have on the go here at the University of Western Sydney. Blended learning, we know, is not a new thing to UWS, and what we've got today is testimony to the fact that so many of you are already doing some fantastic things. And once I started hearing about those, as I visited the schools, I said to Lene and her team, we've got to get these examples out there. People want to know what blended learning is. Is it fully online? Is UWS going to be an online university? No, it's not fully online. What it is, and we've handed out a definition of blended learning, is combining the best that we have of face-to-face with the best of online, with a range of other forms of learning and sites of learning, like clinical placements, work-based learning, working service learning out in the community. So we're truly looking at the blend of learning experiences. And it's not just about plugging technology in for the sake of it. And what I know you've got in school today is great examples of where people are doing that blend. They're looking at how views can be used to supplement face-to-face. There are some great examples of fully online units in this university. And I think we need to look at how people are doing those. and how we might demonstrate examples of that for you in your schools if that's something you're interested in. But the message about blended learning is that it is about looking at technology, how it can help us from the simplest forms to using more emerging technologies. So if you've got a view site, fantastic stuff. If you're using online assessment, terrific. If you've got a Facebook site, or you're blogging, or you're using other forms of technology, wikis, etc., terrific. If you're using lecture capture, that's great. All of those dimensions for us are what it takes to make a blended learning environment. But I'm not going to talk any more about that because you've got some great examples coming. My job is to say to you, number one, we've got a learning and teaching plan that says that the curriculum in your disciplines is the site for renewal and for the exciting things we need to do. And that is about the Create at UWS project, so curriculum renewal for excellence in transformative education. So we thought Create was a shorter way of saying that we are about looking at your curriculum and working with you to reform it when we need to renew it, to add technology where relevant, but it's also about maintaining the standards and the excellence. And it's about working with students in face-to-face environments as well as online and in mixed mode. So the learning and teaching plan says this is important. We've got external reports saying this is the way to go. We've got academic staff who talk with you and professional staff about what they're already doing. So this is not a new thing that we're adding on to your current practice. This is really about saying, what are we already doing? How do we expand that in response to, as I said, in this report and in the paper, on a weekly basis, we're reminded that the higher education sector around us is changing rapidly. And this is a sobering report that basically says that the current Australian university model, with a large base of assets and back office, will prove unviable in the future. Take it or leave it. You can contest that statement or not, but we have to grapple with the changes taking place around us. And instead of reacting to something like that, what I'm interested in doing is saying, what are we already doing that actually responds to that change? What are our students benefiting from? How do we support academic staff in particular? So out of today, and monthly network meetings is the aim. What I'd like to know from you in particular is, how else do we support you? How do we share these ideas? And Lene and her team, if I can just get Lene to stand up. Lene and Gina beside her have been working hard with a range of people in the teaching development unit. Thanks to Kylie and others who have made the program happen today. So thank you to this team. Find them after the session and over coffee. Let them know how we did today and how to do it better. But I can also just point to Dennis McNamara. He's looking after our blended learning strategy across the university, starting now and through next year. So he'll be helping us to identify where are some of the things that might be available to help you. So we've got a team of people who'll be working with you in your schools to support you, but we need to know, how can we do this better? So this is a start. Let us know how we do.